Welcome to my solar addiction. Today's video:
Growatt 11.4 kilowatt inverter and Growatt automatic transfer switch.
So in today's video, we're going to go over the inverter and the SYN automatic transfer switch, both from Growatt. This system is centered around this Growatt 11.4 grid-tied inverter that are known as the MYN 11400TL-XH-US. It's made for the US market, not the European market. Nominal output on this inverter is 11,400 watts with a high efficiency of 98.5%, which is pretty good. It's battery ready. It supports DC and AC coupled systems. It includes backup power and dark start functionality. It has 4 MPPTs for optimum energy harvesting. With those 4 MPPTs, it can accommodate up to 22.8 kilowatts of PV input power. And each one of the MPPTs is rated at 32.5 amps. So you should be able to get 2 strings on each one. It operates in temperatures of minus 13 degrees Fahrenheit up to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. And it is rated NEMA 4X, so it is outdoor ready. As far as energy management, it does support self-consumption, zero export to the grid, time of use settings, and it has off-grid mode for those that want to use this off-grid. The monitoring system has a built-in Wi-Fi, 4G Wi-Fi. And it does have an app that you can use to monitor your system. This grid-tied bundle also comes with the Growatt SYN 200 amp automatic transfer switch. So you can actually connect it to your 200 amp service. And then you connect that to the Growatt 11.4 kilowatt inverter to complete the system connection to the grid. And since both of these units are made by Growatt, you're going to have communication between the two, which is going to add some additional flexibility. So let's unbox this thing and get it up on the wall so we can complete the install. See what it looks like. Got a mounting bracket, got some hardware, got a manual, this foam, nice foam packing. It's definitely packed well. And then, so there's the automatic transfer switch for the Growatt inverter that's not here yet. But this is a high voltage system. And let's get this puppy out of here. See if there's anything else in here. Nope. Abba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee. That's all, folks. Take the hardware out. That baby's got a good weight to it. Yep. Finally got the Growatt 11.4, I think it is, kilowatts inverter, the MYN, to go with our transfer switch here from Growatt and our LG 16H batteries in 400 volt. So let's do a little quick unboxing. Sounds like it's raining outside. Not good for solar production. Got a manual, got a bracket here. And here's the inverter. So we'll do the work like an Egyptian thing. There's the top. We'll flip it up like this. And hold on to the front. Come on out, baby. You know you want to walk on out. There we go. Little guy. So used to these big boys like the EG4s and the Sol-Arks. And then let's get the other stuff out. That's to plug up some holes, I guess. This is mounting hardware and some connectors. An emergency stop button here. Start getting her mounted up on the wall right over here. It's about 24 and a half tall, 24 and 5/8, 15 and 5/8 wide, 8 inches, well, 7 and 3/4, 24 and 3/4. That's why I have this bracket and have the battery sitting out, because I couldn't get underneath it. If the battery was right underneath it, it was not going to be possible. And I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to do that. I got a wiring trough coming. It's a 6x6. I'm probably going to have to mount that underneath these brackets that hold this up. That way I have room to run wires up and down. I think that'll work. So a lot of times you can plan, you can do measurements, and you think you got everything right, but then the physical, geography of the situation changes that plan, and you've got to just adapt and overcome. So we'll see when we get this thing up on the wall how we're going to run that wiring trough, how we're going to run our wires. But one step at a time, folks. All right, so I'm going to try to mount this puppy on the wall. Got to get my little bracket here. And this has got to go on the wall like this so that it slips underneath that little bracket. Looks like the sun's coming back out. Hopefully we get some juice, some energy. This is going to go like that. To the bottom is about 19 inches. It's at 19. I'm going to put it right there. We got that hole. Pilot and another pilot. Whoa, whoa. And last but not least, this is it. Girlfriend is up. All right, so I got the Growatt 11.4 kilowatt inverter in, and I had put the ATS on the left side. The reason I did that was because on the other side of this wall is my test panel. There's my test plugs. But I'm realizing that my grid connection is going to come from the right. So it makes sense to have them switched, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the ATS on this side and the Growatt on this side, and I'm probably going to move them both over some closer to the rack of EG4 LLV2s. So the first thing we're going to do is remove the cover off of it. See what we got to do to cut the holes in it. So open it up to make this happen. And yeah, like I said, this is kind of tight up in here. So I'm going to have to be really careful. Yep, going to have to put a towel inside of it. Keep whatever plastic comes flying around. Because it's not a normal punch out. You can't just push these puppies out. It's not serrated all the way through. Okay, so now we want to put a towel in here to try to catch whatever shavings so they don't get all up in there. But this antenna is in the way. So I'm going to disconnect it. Scoot this down. Scoot that down. So just so you can see what I'm looking at. See, these are not like metal knockouts where if you hit it with a hammer, it'll actually just punch out. This was not designed that way. And if you look on the back end, it's just flat and smooth. Okay, so you got to drill this out. And I'm going to use a drill to get a pilot hole big enough to use my hole puncher so I have nice clean holes. Definitely want this one. My hole punch needs a bigger hole. So like I said, we got to try to get it with the plastic staying in the towel. Pretty good job, Dave. So now that I got my pilot holes, I'm going to use my hole punch here. It works on metal and it works on plastic. I know it's made from metal usually, but I've done this before. And I got to start with the smallest, because that's the only one that's going to fit through this hole. And the weight of this thing might crack this plastic some kind of way. And we don't want that to happen. So I'm going to hold the weight in my hand as I crank. Now I got to do this to all of them. So I have two of them I want to be 3/4, and two of them I want to be 1 inch. So I'm going to do my 3/4 first. All right, show you what I'm looking at. This is a 3/4. There's going to be a 1 inch here, and this is, I want to do another 3/4 here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of lean a little more this way, and then when I do this one, I'll lean more this way. Beautiful. Now I got my 1 inch there. So that's what I was checking to make sure that they would actually fit next to each other, and it fit on both sides. All right, so now I've got my holes for my conduits cut in here. So I want to reattach this antenna, and then we're going to put our cover back on. And before we put that one back up on the wall, I'm going to pop the hood on the SYN so we can see what the inside of that looks like and kind of get a lay of the land. We've got a couple more screws to get to, so I need my Phillips, Monsieur Philippe, and then we've got these kind of push pins. You just got to push down and pull it out, and then this little cover comes off. And we don't need to take the top off, but this is the area we're going to be working in. So I mainly want to see where my wires are going to be run so I can cut holes in my wiring trough appropriately. We're definitely going to come in here and use this breaker. Comms for sure, power from the grid, and then power to the loads. Now, if I was using a 200 amp service, these big old giant openings on the bottom here would come in handy, because this is for 3-inch pipe. I'm going to probably run my power through here, use these 1-inch openings. But I guess we ought to take a look at the top. Let's do that. And like I said, we really wouldn't need to access this to do the install. All right, so I had to lower this down because it was bumping into the top of the garage door opener rail. So hopefully it should go up now and be able to be centered. There it goes. Yay! Victory is mine.
Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed our video.